What's going on? Episode 5, Deck 1, Deck 2. Deck 1 talking here, as you know.
Deck 2 right here, represent.
Hey, you're owning it. I love that.
I'm owning it. Why not?
Let's owning it still. I love that. But yeah.
I can't run everything, and that's something in life I've got to come to terms with.
We like that.
It's growth.
It's
growth.
That's like the Clash, though. That's like the Clash, isn't it? You didn't run the Clash. You didn't win it.
Bruv. Anyway, it's there. People will see it. They know what it is. They know what it is. And never mind anyway. You know what it is, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We've got plenty more.
Yeah.
Me and you was chatting the other day, and some of your views are wild. So
yeah,
people watch out. We're gonna have a couple more clashes because Deck 1's his views are wild on who he thinks is
Deck 1.
You get me?
Deck 1, his views are wild. Yeah. We saying ready to get some guests in there and
man.
Chop it up with the guests.
I thought about it, yeah, and I thought, you know what? Episode 5, I want this to be an R&B episode. You know what I mean? So I've invited some of the big players. Let's see who pops up. Hold on, let's see who pops up. Let me get adding. You know them way there. Boom. All right, cool. Let me get adding. See who pops up, and then one of them I'm gonna have to try and get hold of one of them differently, because they didn't really do what they needed to do. Who we got here?
Who's that? This is like Royal Rumble.
You get me? Who's rolling in first?
This is like Royal Rumble. Hey!
Man, like
gunman with the R&B, Badman R&B DJ.
Gunman. Let's see who we got next.
Wait, can you not hear me? Yeah,
yeah, we can hear you, bro. Let's see who we got next. Oi!
Man there,
Certified R&B dude, He
looks like he's in a video, bro.
Blood. He look like he's in like the studio. Yeah, I'm just playing tracks.
Well, go on.
What's happening?
Do you know what? I just flipping banging Ozark, bruv. I just got so flipping.
Well, you say you're in here?
This thing, huh?
You say you're just in TV mode now.
Yeah, fully. I was playing music earlier, but
how far in are you?
I'm on I'm season 3, episode 6.
Yeah.
Things are starting to happen now,
bro. Anyway, just do it.
Yeah, I know.
I ain't started watching that yet. I've heard about it.
Yeah,
I haven't got involved yet.
It's hard. It takes a while to kick in, but it's hard still.
You need the first season. You give it the first season, and then really from there it takes off. Like,
it's good. Oh, it's one of them ones. To be honest, I did watch. I think I watched 2 episodes and then just gave up.
No, man, don't.
This one, you can't do that. And the thing is, I'm the same. Like, see, in normal life, I probably wouldn't have made it this far in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, this is one of the reasons why, you know what, when people say stick with it, like, you actually just have to do that.
Yeah.
I stuck with it. Yeah. Then episode 9 on season 1 just blew my head. I said, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in now. I'm like, I hit the gram. I was like, listen.
Yeah. Trust me. That's why I say everyone has to give Ozark time. Otherwise, you think, and it's true, normal life when you got stuff going on, 2 episodes, forget this. But nah, man, give it the time, man.
Yeah, certainly.
Watch it still. It's good.
All right. Just gonna try and add these next 2. But yeah, we got 2 of the big players in the building, man. We got DJ Syfer, NWR, Freshman R&B done, like that. And then we got certified R&B dude. He's the first man I ever heard say those words,
Man owned it early. You know what I mean? Chuckie online.
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah. So let me add in with the next 2. Yeah, it's a bit mad. But yeah, Fats, give these guys a little rundown on what Deck 1, Deck 2 is all about.
What? So what's the new podcast thing, yeah?
Yeah. Just deep, bro. DJ talk, bro. So we're like, this is like episode 5. But yeah, we've been doing it obviously during the lockdown. So we're doing it via the Zoom. But yeah, man, just DJ talk, bro. We've had a few DJs on here so far. English Fire, Hooli, yours, Martial Movements, Mad Fingers.
I watched the last.
Yeah, it's been, bruv. All different opinions are flying, bro.
What type of subjects you covering?
Yeah, well, basically, we're trying to touch a complete different subject every week, and then we kind of invite the DJs that they can add to that subject. So the first week was about, it was kind of generic on the first week, isn't it?
It was an open book still.
Yeah, it was an open book the first week. Second week, we spoke about, bruv, my brain. Facts, come on.
Wasn't the...
the second week. The second week was,
what was it?
Bruv, you're rubbish, man.
Fees. Lowering the fees. Should DJs lower their fees?
Yeah, should DJs lower their fee?
But how's
after
Syfer
Corona?
don't know this?
Bro, you know what it is? Man's just been doing a minute, and then we're here, innit?
I just done that as a test, and you lot passed, so respect to that. The second one was about a guy on Twitter said DJ should lower their fee after this because clubs are going to be suffering. So we had a chat about that. Episode 3, we had some hosts. We asked about the host. Yeah. We wanted to, as you know, as a DJ, I got a lot of questions for hosts. You know what I mean? You know, because some of them elevate the set, and then some of them just.
Yeah, I don't like just having any type. I can host myself, but if I've got someone that's gonna host, I do need it proper still. I was telling them about, because I'm a turn down the mic, man. Like, hey, do you know the first man I used to see do that? You know the first man I used to see do that in my life?
Who's that? Who?
DJ EZ.
Is it? Yeah.
I used to see EZ turn off that microphone, especially when he's about to do a mix. He just turn that off.
Oh, for real?
Turn that off. I've seen him do it. The only MC I didn't see him ever do it to is CKP.
But he's probably
them man, you know.
And we got DJ Ace in the building. What's good?
Yes, bro? Ace.
Hey, Ace, your mute's on. You're mute. You have to take your mute off.
Yeah, you got unmute yourself.
There you go, bro.
See him there?
There you go.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
hey,
man's got the setup. Man's got the setup.
Yeah. That man, that's it. And who else we got? Who's popping in next? This is coming like the Big Brother house, isn't it? Who's next? And then rolling up next. Just loading up. But yeah, so then episode 3, was about the host. We spoke to the host, you know, a lot of questions to why they do things. And then obviously a lot of stuff going around on Instagram right now with the DJs and the clashes. So last week we spoke about dub plates. Because bit of dub plate drama going on at the moment.
Is there?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but no, but you know what? Chuckie, it might be out of your radar, you know.
Why did you say that? Because
it's like, then again, it's not really. You know Tiny, DJ Tiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know Bill Gates?
Burna Boy's DJ.
Oh yeah, I met him actually. I met him when I came back from Nigeria in December. I'd actually proper met him. I knew him before, but I hadn't met him before. But what had happened?
Yeah. Their thing's mad though, man.
Yeah.
Their thing.
It's a bit of back and forth right now, so.
Please, just give me a nutshell. What happened?
Let me break it down quickly, because
go on, see.
Basically,
do the wrap up.
Somebody was chatting to Tiny. Right, would you clash such and such? Would you clash such and such?
Me, not somebody.
Would you chat this? Would you clash him? Would you clash him? He said, would you clash Bill Gates? Tiny says, fuck Bill Gates.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Apparently they had a little thing years ago where Bill Gates, something about he couldn't get into they wouldn't let Tiny in the club or some shit. Anyway, so Bill Gates has reacted on some, you know what? Fuck it, let's clash.
Music.
We're not going to take it nowhere else. Music. Now Tiny's on some, I'm not clashing you.
And I don't understand. I don't understand that vibe.
Why doesn't he want to do it?
Because he thinks he says he's above it.
He's above it.
Wow.
He's not above it. He's above him. If he's going to clash, he's got to clash
Westwood
or Slough.
Who? Tiny?
I rate the confidence. I rate it though.
Yeah, he's in there.
Obviously, sorry, I know we got to move on, but obviously, by him saying that, he don't rate Westwood.
No,
Because Westwood's a man who'll fling some dub plates on your
Bro, I
right.
said that to him though.
Straight.
I said Westwood might kill you just by talking, bro.
Bro, don't rant with Westwood, you know.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
He's been in the game 60 years, you know. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It wouldn't surprise me if Westwood got Bob Marley on dub. He still might have done that. You get me? He still might have done that.
Yeah. Them man there's links to 30. Godfather's in the building. What you saying? Check. Can you hear us, bro?
Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
man.
Yo.
Welcome to the show.
What's happening?
There, man. There. So yeah, I thought today I want to have a little chat about R&B. So I thought let me think of like the baddest R&B dons that I could think of, and I couldn't find them, so I called.
Shots fired.
Just a joke. But yeah, so these you lot are the first 4 names that come to mind, and we actually was like thinking, raw, couple man might not be available, so who would we draw for? Who would we have as a substitute? And we're struggling, so we're glad that you all could make it.
Yeah, man, definitely.
You get me? So welcome. Deck 1, Deck 2 podcast. Talk about DJing, serious DJ talk only. You know what I mean? We got the serious DJs in the house. We got one man there sitting in the studio right now. You get me? He's got the boom mic and everything. You know what he did? He put the vinyl. You know what he did? He moved the controller and put the vinyl there to show, man.
No.
He's doing this.
The controller's still here. Yeah. Allow me, man. You know what? Because I'm broadcasting from home at the moment, innit? So I had to have the real setup in the house.
Okay.
So yeah, this is me for the time being. Yeah, I miss the studio, the real studio.
You know what? Me and Ace actually did something like this time ago. Remember?
We did, man.
About the albums.
Really good. Very enjoyable conversation.
I saw a lot of backlash on Facebook over that little podcast that we put out there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. A lot of people were not happy with if people don't know, we put together the top 10 greatest R&B albums of the 90s.
We could talk about that in a bit, boy.
We were battling it out for a while. I remember it got sticky in there.
Yeah.
It was very, very opinionated.
Who got number? All right, what was your number one then?
I'm never gonna remember this. I can't remember. But I remember there was like a long thing where we was like, we can't have a top 10 without Aaliyah, and then we were trying to like eliminate somebody and put Aaliyah. I remember that. And it was going, and that went on for ages.
That went on for time. And Nadia was going hard.
She was going ham for Aaliyah.
When someone trying to take out my H-Town.
Yeah.
I was fighting for H-Town. I can't lie. I was fighting for H-Town.
Someone is echoing somewhere, you know.
That's Godfather still. I
think.
That
mean?
It's someone's echoing. I don't know if you're listening to it through a speaker and something different, but there's some echoing.
Definitely.
All right.
That's all right now. So
it's back to normal. It's back to normal. But yeah, we can talk about that, man, because that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. But yeah, the first thing I really want to talk about is obviously when we talk about R&B, when we think about R&B, I think our minds always just cast back to the past. So, is R&B dead?
Do you want to answer now? Never in life. I think it's impossible. I think right now as well, they're collaborating with the big rappers. Like, I just think R&B's in a great space right now. I don't think that statement even applies. I think it's a nonsensical statement to say R&B's dead in 2020. Mad? No way. Impossible.
I have to agree.
Is everybody in agreement with that?
I think it's in a good place. I think what people would really go down is to authentic R&B in it. I think R&B has almost where it's kind of transformed a little bit. We've got people and in between that authentic R&B stuff.
It's echoing, you know.
Can someone hear the echo? Can you hear the echo?
Yeah, it's
definitely echoing. I don't know who that is. All right, I don't know. Everyone's just using a normal. Fats is on his phone. The rest of us are all using laptops.
Yeah.
Anyone playing music? Is it anyone playing the sound through a speaker or something?
No.
Everything on a laptop.
Oh, very strange.
I don't know.
But I just feel that
R&B. Sorry, go on, Syfer.
R&B is certainly not dead, but what I do think is there's a newer, I say fresh in inverted commas, there's just a newer sound to R&B. So you got these people like, I'll just say Summer Walker, like it's kind of a new sound, like, but then again you've got Tory and all these people that are using all of the old samples as well. So I just feel like the sound is kind of just transforming a little bit. But if you go underground, like these artists are selling out crazy. And I'm like, maybe that is. It's an R&B sound. So yeah, it's not dead. It's definitely there. I just think maybe it's just a mix of mainstream and underground.
Yeah, see for me, yeah, like, okay, just on what you said, yeah, like sometimes sound evolves in certain ways.
100%,
So it's like
100%.
you look at okay, take Future for example, yeah. We all agree Future's hip hop, innit?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound anything like Wu-Tang, though.
No.
So that doesn't mean that he's not hip hop. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like sometimes the sound in things. For me, yeah, one thing that I find, which is I think is quite annoying, yeah, is that sometimes these conversations come from people who look at things from a super surface level and maybe even a highly commercialized place. So I give you another example. Yeah, it's like when someone turns around and says, like I said one time, yeah, I'm doing my top 10 albums of the year, and then a couple of people was like, right, you can get 10 good albums. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Like, where are you looking? If you're looking, if the only place that you're looking is like what's selling the highest and what is on the chart, then we can't have the same conversation. I can put together 30 albums that I thought was good last year because I'm listening to music that I find for which I find sonically good, not what is doing 100 million of this. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, that's why I feel like that argument can be a little bit lazy. It's like, oh, is it dead? Yeah, you might feel this way because if you're looking at the top 5 in the chart, you might not see it. But are you then alluding to the fact that there's not a whole scene of R&B out there? The only one thing that I would say I do kind of agree with, I heard Marvin Spark say this actually, which is quite a good point, is that there are certain elements of R&B from back in the day that may not be as popular in our like traits today. For example, like being a sweet boy was a proper thing at one point.
Yeah.
Now, like, man ain't really trying to be like Drake's a sweet boy, and people give him
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Whereas being a sweet boy was actually you wanted that.
Yeah.
Now, man, them are just trying to do things for the man. Then, so, so that's certain elements of that might have changed, but the sound, like R&B as a whole,
my whole thing is that what does dead mean when you say like R&B is dead? Like, does that mean that no one's checking for it? Because you can have a 90s performer come out.
Ace, are you listening through your headphones?
Yeah, I'm through. I don't think that's me, you know.
You know what? I can't lie. I think it might be Dudley, because it keeps going back to him.
The Godfather. Are you listening through a speaker?
Who?
Gods, you living through a speaker?
No, mine's on my laptop.
Oh, because every time someone's speaking, my thing keeps going to him for some reason.
Yeah, Ace. All right, so hold on. Are you listening through?
I'm listening straight through headphones. There's no speaker on the
volume down, everything.
Everything's down. I got no speakers on in the house.
I don't know. Right, look, God is gone.
It's mad because it keeps starting. There you go. Yeah, and then it goes to his screen. I'll stop. Right. There you go. Yeah, what I was saying is I don't necessarily. I'm echoing again. Is that me? Am I good? Am I back? There you go. I don't know what dead means because we have sold out R&B shows throughout the year over here. Yeah. People want to see it, whether it's new school or old school R&B artists. Like, there's always a market for it. So how can it be dead? I just think it's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I feel like when that question comes back, well, when I first heard that question, it wasn't even a question. It was like people were saying, like, there was like a hashtag going around, isn't it? R&B's not dead. So I'm thinking, obviously, if it's not dead, people are saying that it is dead. I never really saw when they were saying it was dead. But I think what happened, there was there was a time when R&B dominated. Do you get what I'm saying? Where it was it was in the dominating spot. It was in the top spot. And just like Chuckie said, all new music, new bashment, new hip hop, the sounds are different. Some may not like it. It's not as authentic as, or it doesn't feel the same as the old 90s. But R&B, instead of being in that dominant position, as you guys rightly said, there's underground things and there's artists that aren't really in the forefront. And I think that's why people have that question. All right, you know what? This is proper. So I'm gonna do, if you lot don't mind, I'm gonna just end this and then call you all back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wow, this and hopefully it fixes it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Cool. I'm here.
But yeah, so yeah, as I was saying, what I feel happens is that people look where R&B was sitting, and now because it's not sitting there, even though there's a clear quality music shift in all genres, but because R&B is no longer at the top spot, and it's not even at, it's like it's proper, just not as seen or not as, you know, I don't know, it's just not dominant. And I think that's where the conversation comes from.
The faces have changed. Like when we're talking R&B, you're thinking of Jodeci, you're thinking of the Ushers, even maybe further down the line, an Ashanti, like a Monica. Like the faces have changed, because when you look at Summer Walker, to some people that is R&B. When you look at Summer Walker, you're like, raw. Like, is this what R&B looks like now? Like on a mainstream level. Then you go, like, then you look at other people, like, what's that? She don't get no love, but Seven Streeter. I think she's a sick artist, R&B artist, but she's not a face. But she looks like them old school artists, though. Like, she fits that mold, but she don't get no love. Like, you could ask 10 people to be like, I don't know who the hell that is. But one song.
But I think that's partly where the whole argument comes in as to the whole dead, innit? Because some of these artists that technically are like, you know, you know them, you know what I'm saying? But the wider audience are not kind of getting that access to that artist, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. They're not checking.
So, yeah,
but the reason why I disagree with that a bit, because I hear it, I understand the argument, I hear it, but like, there's artists in bare genres that are like not as high profile as the others. It's like,
but you know what it is as well. It's more possibly even, you see, like in a rave, let's just say then, yeah, you know, like there was in our time, there would always be like a last set. The last set would be a slow jams, R&B. Do you know what I'm saying? Kind of set. Nowadays, a lot of the time, that's not the last set. It's not that, you know what I mean? It's not that kind of vibe. Unless it's like an older crowd. But a younger crowd, don't know R&B to that extent, if you know what I mean.
It depends on who you're talking to, though. Because I think you're right in a sense, yeah? There's like a young demographic of people that don't know R&B like that. They just don't, innit? But that's still like, the young demographic is just one demographic. You get me?
No, but my point is that in our time, when we was young,
it didn't matter about age group.
It didn't matter about the age group. The R&B, the slow jams, the whatever. Like, some man have never had a slow wine, bro.
That's you know what? I would say the element of that is incorrect though, because like I think the thing is, we talk from a place of privilege, yeah, because we are deep rooted within something and we love it dearly. And, and I would like to take an educated guess that we probably had parents that were like, you know, involved or listened or whatever, yeah. But remember, we had parents who would turn around to us and say, you don't know about R&B, about this. We know about that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, bro. There's like, the thing is, yeah, it may not be as big. It might not be as big as hip hop right now or whatever. But I'm telling you, you got Sir, you got Daniel Caesar, you got Black, you got Chris Brown, you got Tory Lanez, you got Snow Allegra, you got DVSN, you got Janae Aiko, you got Amarion, you got her, you got Summer Walker, Kalani, Usher's still out here.
That's a little list though.
Man said Usher's still out here. You know what?
Usher is still out here.
I think what's interesting is that
Party Next Door,
trust me,
Ty Dolla $ign,
Too many artists. Lucky
But
Day
would you-
is mad.
Lucky Day, LA.
Would you call like a Tory Lanez and a Ty Dolla $ign R&B?
Yes.
Ty Dolla $ign definitely.
Ty Dolla
Tory Lane raps a lot now, but Ty Dolla $ign is definitely for me an R&B singer.
Can I hold my hands up quickly? Just quickly. I just wanted to say one thing. Yeah. The one thing that really put Tory Lanez
Chicks
on.
tapes.
100%.
100%.
R&B, bro.
100%.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think it's a myth
Ty
that...
Dolla $ign thing though. Sorry to cut you. That Ty Dolla $ign thing. When I was watching that show, that T.I. and Cardi B and the other guy, you know, they did, and that guy won. What's his name? The guy from... It was like an X Factor, but...
Like a black person.
What's his name? You know that's Sir's brother, by the way.
Well, yeah, and he walked out wild.
From Compton.
D-Smoke.
That's Sir's brother.
D-Smoke.
That's Sir's brother.
So when I was watching that, they had an R&B round, and then they drawed for Ty Dolla $ign, and I was like, so
yeah, man.
He's a hook killer.
Yeah, I didn't think of him as an R&B. I just think of him as a guy that just does the singing thing.
All I'm gonna say,
it's mad. It's mad.
Ty Dolla $ign after dark. Ty Dolla $ign is the R&B shellers.
Trust me.
Him and Jeremiah are two artists that I think they're gonna come and go, and I don't think they're ever gonna get the kudos of how talented R&B dude-ish they are. Like, I just think, you know what it is? I think Chuckie touched on it. Pause. The sound has just changed a little bit. That we might think, it's hip hop-ish, R&B-ish, but the essence, like the ingredients, when you go deep in the soil, that's R&B in it. That grew from an R&B sound. So Ty Dolla $ign, he's one that. I'm
gonna have to take it in because honestly, I think I listened to a few of the main
Jacquees.
When he first bust, I listened to them tracks and thought,
Godfather,
I didn't even take him serious. I'm not even gonna lie.
Godfather, what are you saying?
You know what? Listening to what Syfer and Chuckie have said, R&B, the sound has changed. So that's why all the artists that Chuckie listed off, like, they're relevant now and they're doing their thing now. So R&B that we started off playing and listening to was authentic R&B to us. The R&B that's out now is authentic to the ravers and generation of this time. In 10 years' time, the sound's going to be totally different again. Doesn't mean it's R&B. It's just, it's evolved.
Yeah, but I think the question isn't about the sound, because obviously R&B music is being made.
It can never die.
Yeah.
Because hip-hop will never die. Bashment will never die.
Well, it's interesting that you even mentioned dancehall, because the dancehall's having the same kind of thing at the moment.
We talk about that in another episode, that dancehall is definitely going through that I think like a bit of a recession. Like it's suffering, but it's still busting. So you get what I'm saying? And it's going more. I think it might be good for R&B to be underground, because I feel like when I say underground, it's not like it's not like, I don't mean underground, but it's like, it's serious now. I think there was a stage where you find that too much of it was becoming pop, if you get what I'm saying. So some of the greats were becoming pop. And pop.
You know why though? Because they wanted to fit into the new sound, I think. That's why. So like Chris Brown, if you notice, has evolved his sound. Omarion has had to evolve their sound, because they can't be the same as they were from when they first, because they're not going to be relevant anymore, but they're still of an age where they will appeal to that generation. Usher, the same thing. Usher's older, but he knows, right, if I want to stay relevant, I've got to change my sound, because the new generation, they're not going to like old school stuff.
Usher left R&B behind to do some stupidness, man. Upset me.
What did he do?
No, all of that. Oh my God. No.
Oh yeah.
Will I am.
The fifth pump thing.
Yeah. But that was that time.
Man needs the coins, bro. Man has to get paid, bro. Man needs the coins.
That was the time.
No, that speaks to what Ace was saying, though. In that, like, that was probably the time period where it was a little quiet out here.
It weren't it. It weren't it, man. It definitely wasn't it. There wasn't like something. I think somebody said earlier that like like R&B was like nowadays the youths are not really listening to it, but I definitely think that's a myth. Because I know we keep mentioning Summer Walker, but I went to the Summer Walker show and man felt hella old in there. Just youths in there, like, and the Ari Lennox show and like all of these R&B artists and their shows sell out first day. Do you know what I'm saying? So
bare young bucks in there.
Yeah, but you know what it was, Ace. It's not that they don't listen. Like there's people that listen to it. I just mean that within the club party scene, it's not as much of a thing in it. Like you know there's some sets that you could miss out, and no one would say, "Wow, what, you didn't do the slow jam set."
Yeah,
no.
I think some of those artists are not really making the records for the clubs though. But I feel like as soon as you get in the car, you're putting that on straight away. I just don't feel like them artists have them club records.
It's a different type.
I got another take though. Like maybe what it is, and like I say this more so even just like within like a certain element of like a DJ scene, but like DJs don't take enoff risks. Everyone just goes with like what you think everyone just wants to hear. Like you'll notice, if you take the risk, you get the bigger forward. So people can't believe what's happening right now.
I was about to say that, you know, because
can I give a quick example? Let me give you a quick example. So with regards to Summer Walker, bro, I'd never heard of her. And like you're saying, I was in a club and the DJ took the risk, bro, played this song.
Showdown.
Bruv, the crowd is going, the girls are going, the man them are going crazy. I'm saying, I now need to do my education. What is this song, bro?
You're saying, who's this?
I'm looking at the laptop, reading the name. Who is that? You know what I'm saying?
You know? Facts.
Like, yeah.
You know what? As well, in terms of Chuckie made a very good point in DJs not taking a risk.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, C6 will know. Syfer might know. When I DJ, especially, I will try and stay away from playing the top 10 and top 20 tunes because there's so much music. Why should I stick to playing the top 10 and top 20? But a lot of promoters are not putting DJs who are going to take the risk in the middle part of the dance because promoters are thinking, no, I don't want them to start playing like underground. I want them to play the mate stuff. So that is, again, another major problem, which is why people might think R&B is dead. Because DJs like myself, Chuckie, all the DJs here that would go and take the risk, we're not allowed to take the risk per se.
Let me tell you something, I was in Amsterdam.
I knew you was going to say this.
Listen, I'm telling you, I was in Amsterdam and Chuckie, Syfer played this set, new R&B set. Bro, if I wasn't Shazamming, I was like, and it was sick. And as soon as it came out on SoundCloud, which he done, I think I even asked him to put it on it. He put it on there that night. I listened to it again that night. The set was sick. All new R&B, a bag of songs I've never heard. He even played the Stormzy song,
Cigarettes and Kush.
Blood. I never heard that song, bro. I never heard that song.
It's bad, that tune's bad.
I never heard it like that. I heard it, but I never heard it like that. So it's necessary. That kind of set is necessary.
100%.
It's not out there enough. And so even me as a DJ, listening to Syfer play that, there was a lot of songs I didn't know. The crowd knew. The girls were singing. It was karaoke fest, bro. It was sick.
And we sometimes also, like it's safe to say, okay, DJs don't take risk and stuff like that. But you know what? I think there's sometimes we underestimate what the ravers go in it. But the truth is this: they got more time and more access to tune than we have at times. SoundCloud, Mixcloud, flipping, all of these.
Spotify, everything.
Spotify.
Have you never got onto a tune, and then looked at it on YouTube and it's got like 5 million views?
Yeah. How did I miss this? How did I miss this song?
Do you know what that is though? Like, we talk about the old R&B. You got to remember that R&B was coming out when the artist was dropping one album every 2 years. So Joe's dropped an album, we can sit with that album for 2 years. We can work out what the tune is that is gonna work in the rave. We know what the girls like, we know what the man them like. Now, artists are dropping 4 EPs a year before they just drop that album. Then they got to drop a next album. There's so much music. So it's kind of hard to know exactly what to lock into, because there's just so much music. And people don't stay on music long either. Like your album, if your little 6-track EP came out 3 months ago, that's old now. We're off that. So it's just a different time. It's just a totally different time in the way that people consume music as well.
One thing that I noticed actually as well is that, like, depending on the festivals and stuff that you go to, because I know that, like, there's certain festivals that cater to, like, more R&B and soul, the soul sound, and the bigger ones of those actually ain't in this country. A lot of them are in America. But I'd noticed, I had a proper geek moment, right, where I was sort of looking at Wireless Festival in particular, and I was going through, like, from when like black acts started to come into the lineups and stuff, and just like looking at how over time the sound had changed or whatever, and you could see that there's a period where they're like fighting it a bit, like they're having a couple people in there.
Yeah, we'll put on 5, but we're not gonna put on 20.
Exactly. But then you have like a period where it's like Wireless now becomes like super urban, like a lot of black acts, a lot of R&B, you got hip hop, you got all these different things. But one thing that I did notice last year at Wireless in particular was there was only 2 acts on the main stage that I saw on the day that I was there that used a live band, and it was LMA and Notes.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's Notes.
And that was quite. I found that quite interesting, because at a time, like the live band thing and the percussion and all of that type of stuff was a thing. But now I think what it is, like from that perspective, when you go to places like that, a lot of the youths them just want to jump up and down all over. So if you go there and you're looking for R&B, you might be misguided and say, oh, like nothing's happening with R&B right now, because you're judging it just on the basis of that.
Yeah, because they can't say 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But look, man, there's so much of it, and like, I guess that's one of the good things about streaming apps like Spotify, for example. You play one tune, and then before you know it, now it just recommends this and that and this and that, and like even I found tunes through their recommendation and that, and through artists that are actually doing, like, homing their own fan base and that too. Do you get me? So
literally,
I don't know, man. The conversation about it being dead is
it's dead. The conversation about it.
If you're comparing it to how it used to sound, even that I find that quite strange, because nothing sounds how it used to sound.
Yeah, I just think that conversation has been going around for a long time, and it is about dominant. It's like when, I don't know, I'm not really a football man, so I don't want to offend nobody, but when the man them were dissing Arsenal and that, and Liverpool, and they're like, oh, they're used to this, and they're shit now. Do you get what I'm saying? But really, it's just evolved. The team ain't the same. But they used to have. They're going.
You see, like, okay, all right, because someone made it interesting
like
point.
He's in class. That's funny.
Someone made an interesting point here in saying that like R&B was like the dominant thing. It was the dominant sound or whatever. Okay, so if people are judging the fact that because it's not dominant that it's dead, but that doesn't make sense. Just because it's not on top doesn't mean that it doesn't exist here. I think when we even mention the word dominant, like what do we actually mean by that? Because like even in the 90s and stuff, when R&B was prominent amongst us and black people and stuff like that, I wouldn't say that it was reflective of the charts.
It wasn't. You're
right.
No.
But what I mean, but what you have to understand is, so God, let me get this, and you can just say what you can jump in here. But what I meant when I said it, about dominant, I meant like there was a stage where R&B was the acceptable music for us to represent, to be represented on that mainstream and on top of the pops and that. So the likes of the Beyoncés and the Destiny's Childs and all of these, they were the Ushers, the TLC, Mark Morrison, like those, all of those things.
Mark
They
Morrison.
were out there on they were on top of the pops before everything else. So in terms of our music,
they had to make
our music, they were winning. Dominance. That's what I mean.
In terms of going back to what Chuckie was saying with Spotify, it's a good time now for R&B artists because there's so much more outlets to put your music out on. In terms of R&B being a more prominent sound in clubs, the reason being is because there's no one definitive artist or two definitive artists that everybody wants to hear. There's more definitive hip-hop artists and more definitive bashment artists. So an R&B set in a club is very difficult to do. You'll see the difference in hype of the crowd as well. You do an R&B set, the crowd's okay. Play hip-hop and bashment, the crowd's going wild. So I think to the masses, it does look like R&B may be dead. But obviously, as we know, it can't be because Chuckie just listed off 20 artists that are doing their thing regardless of what's going on. And obviously, music's subjective as well. So as much as 50% of people are going to say R&B is dead, 50% of people are going to be like, nah, man, what are we talking about? R&B is shot in. This concert was ram. I went to this concert, it was sell-off, it was sell-off, it was sell-off. Just because you don't know about it, it doesn't mean that that artist is not relevant, kind of thing.
So I was having an argument with my little cousin about the whole H thing and H saying about whatever. And we was talking about Jungle, and he was like, "Yeah, no, but Jungle's dead." I was like, "You want to ask some of them Jungle man who are touring Australia and Japan if Jungle is really dead?" Yeah, we haven't it's not popping like it was in '93, but that scene is still very much alive. So you can't kill off it something that got that much of a following and a fan base. You get me? So and
I saw Skibbity in Niketown one time. I almost collapsed. But when I'm asking, man, when I'm asking, man, what you got going on for the next month and that, man's talking about Japan, Brazil, America, Colombia. Like these men are all over the place. Like, it's an underground sound. It's definitely gone underground and that, but like
it's not dead.
Yeah, it exists. You know what I mean? And R&B 100% definitely does exist. It might not be how some people might see how big hip hop is at the moment and dancehall or whatever, but just because you don't see it as that, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Yeah. What do you think about UK R&B then, though? Like the UK side of it? Because a lot of things are popping like UK wise.
Very interesting.
You know what I'm saying? But what about UK R&B? You know what I mean?
Can I ask a question just based on that? Yeah, I want to know what we class as R&B, because you see something like, all right, I just asked about Notes when he suggested it. Like, obviously, he's not a rapper, but is he R&B? And I think personally, Western are sick. Are they classed as R&B?
For me, yeah.
Because Western are sick. Their levels.
I don't know, you know.
So what would you class them as?
Technically, two, because like 1.5 of them are like rappers, almost.
And then the other ones are Rasta. So what are you saying? They're like...
These guys are no, but I think it's like it's like a. I feel like almost there's like a middle ground. Because like some people will say Drake's an R&B guy, and then someone will say, "Bro, what are you talking about? He's a rapper."
Well, if Drake's R&B, then Notes is R&B.
No,
come on, bro. Notes can't sing. Drake sings. Drake can do.
For me, I don't want to diss man. And I say this, but I think he's a pop artist. He's a pop artist. He's not, and that is no disrespect to him as in talent-wise, but he covers what we would call popular music, and his sound. He's very versatile, innit? Because he could do an Afro swing track with J Hus tomorrow, show down the party. Then he could do sit back, what do you mean? By himself. It's but he's a pop artist for me personally.
He does sing a lot though. He does sing a lot still.
So is he in like the middle row? Is he in like the middle? You know what I mean?
Put it this way: if someone came to me and asked me for like a list of R&B, like UK R&B, Notes wouldn't be in there.
No,
and he wouldn't be even if I listed 100 UK rappers, he wouldn't be.
He wouldn't be the rapper. So what is he in? The middle is there's like a unknown scene almost.
Well, I guess you get artists like that in it that make like that flirt around with sounds, and like the thing is he probably, for argument's sake, he probably does lean more to R&B than he does a rapper though.
Yeah, I feel like he would consider himself a rapper.
I hear him sing more. I hear when I even when I watched him at Wireless doing his set, it felt like just a lot smoother. Like it's weird. And you know what the thing is? It kind of goes back to like what I was saying about the Sweet Boy thing. The element of that, like, it's a tricky one because that's not that cool. And I think because some of when I look at him, sometimes I do feel like like he's doing the Sweet Boy thing a bit. But he's doing the Sweet Boy thing to a demographic who probably don't appreciate that Sweet Boy thing too much, maybe even from him. So I don't know. You know, I ain't thought about it enough. But in terms of like UK R&B anyway, it's a lot quieter to like obviously what is happening with the American artists and stuff. But for me, like last year I put together my top 13 albums of last year, and in the top 10 of it was Etta Bond. She had a project out that I loved.
She's cold, man.
And I think there was another one in there, but Etta Bond's cold. So there's a few. I mean, there's some acts that I'm proper listening to, but I don't want to sit here and say that like these guys are the biggest guys on earth, because over here it does feel a lot quieter. But there's still some good acts. There's still some good artists, man.
There's a lot.
I agree. I think obviously it is a lot quieter than the States, but I think in terms of black music, we've always been behind the States. Like, we're only like getting our just desserts now in terms of what we are doing in terms of UK urban and it blowing up. So I feel like the R&B scene will come and we'll get there, but it's still behind. But there are a few acts that are actually making noise in the States, actually. Yeah. So, I mean, even look what LMA did. That is amazing. Do you know what I mean? I see Mahalia making noise as well. Nail.
Definitely.
Some of these guys have been Grammy nominated. So
that was the other one, Mahalia. Yeah. She was in my top. She was in my top 13.
Yeah. What about Mira May?
I like Mira May.
I like Mira May. Yeah.
Very, very well. Very good stuff.
There's time.
There's Cleo. I really want Cleo Soul to cut through. You know.
Yeah, she's been around.
But she's been around. Like that's the thing that I see. Like a lot of the UK R&B acts, they're kind of like it's like it didn't work out how maybe they expected. So now they've kind of like gone a bit like quiet. Do you know what I mean? Because I used to see loads of like girl singers, guys. Do you know what I mean? And then now they kind of like not fizzled out, but they're just not as prominent. You know what I mean? And right now the UK scene's buzzing. So to me, I would kind of want to see that element come alive as well.
But do you think because the scene is buzzing, that people are drifting towards making that sound that we're hearing everybody
just popping, basically?
So even people that actually got skill, do you think that they like drift into that sound and we're not seeing that? We're not even seeing what they can give, really.
Yeah, they're chasing the pound note, isn't it?
Pound note, yeah.
Because Ace, all right. So Ace, like proper champions R&B on One Extra. Do you get a lot of music sent to you, like from artists that you're thinking, wow, who's this? Like sick.
Yeah, I always say as well, like I've said for me, and it's not everybody, but I think some of the problems with R&B that I get in my inbox is, and this is a little bit of a problem with the UK R&B scene, is it's like either like sick vocals, but like it's like some of it is like a lot of style over substance. So like you look like I'm singing a bad boy R&B singer, or you look like a sick R&B singer. You look sick. You got the look, but the music is trash. But then you got like sick music, but the presentation is just not there. So there's a few people that just need the balance and just get it right.
You want some Milli Vanilli business going on?
I just think we got to get both sides of it right. I get like. We really do like. I think the presentation is always important, 100%. Like we would be lying if we don't think the presentation is important. But also make sure that the music is banging as well. But then we've got some artists that just think that it's just about the music, but it's not just that. So we just have. There's some really good UK R&B artists, but I think not all of them have got the balance.
We can't have this conversation without, like, obviously I have to bring up this person as well when we talk about UK R&B music.
Yes.
And I think that there's like there's a podcast in itself to be had about, and I'm going to have a conversation with this particular artist because I think there's a honest conversation that definitely needs to happen with him.
I feel like I know who you're going to say.
I know who he's going to say. I know exactly what he's going to say.
And do you know what, yeah? Like, I don't know if you, like, yesterday, Angel was on...
Angel?
Yeah. Angel was on his live yesterday with Shaka, right? And
Shaka.
Can't forget Shaka.
He's sick, bro.
Shaka is one of my favourite... When I told you, he's one of my favourite UK artists. Like, he's just one of my period.
Yeah.
He's such a talented... Like, and the type, the sound that he makes. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was listening to them just having a conversation. It was a real good conversation. And then they started playing tunes back to back and just talking about them, yeah. And like, I'm listening to some of these tunes A's dropping, yeah, and I'm like, thousands. His catalogue is actually mad, you know.
Like, listen.
His catalogue is like, if he actually pulls it off one day, if he actually does pull it off and he hits the thing and he does a mad thing like an LMA thing or whatever it is, and he hits that height, yeah, and he does a show and like his new fans but also his old fans there, and he actually goes back and starts playing some of these rhythms, people will be like, one of two things will happen. There will be a set of people in there that will be like, rah, what is this? Then there will also be another set of people in there that will be like, flipping hell, like some of these tunes, just felt like I'm listening to like Ride Out and that.
That tune was bad, you know.
It feels like it almost feels like some type of modern classic, bro.
Yeah.
What do you lot think? What is the reason though? Because even Shaka as well. I think Shaka and Angel, they're both amazing. We can all agree that they're sick.
Yeah.
But there's something that is not connecting. Like, what is it?
God, what do you think? Because I got a thought, but what do you think? Because I see God's little smile.
I don't know. Sometimes you think you don't know what's going on in someone's home life, like their personal life. You know, they might not get the right A&R or management team or whatever it is. They might lose focus from that. Like, it's a number of things because, like Ace just said, Shaka and Angel are both sick artists, so there's no reason why they should be our equivalent of Chris Brown and Usher. There's no reason why they can't be going to America and selling out shows. So I don't know, Chuckie, that's one podcast you got to grab him and ask.
I got a feeling though. You see, when it comes to Angel, from me, because I think I can't answer the Shaka thing because to me he ticks all the right boxes, innit? And it's just so he's just going to be one of them artists that are like sick and underrated for a long time. Do you get what I'm saying? People, if someone else sings his song, it will blow. A bit like Tracy Chapman, you know, like always got some classics, but you're underrated for no matter what you do. But with Angel, this sounds like what Ace was saying about the packaging. And I don't see, when I look at Angel, what I'm seeing isn't the voice. Like, that's not the brother. Like, to me, so when Chuckie was talking about the Sweet Boy thing, like, man's got a tattoo on his face and all of that thing. Like, it's not a UK Sweet Boy style, isn't it?
But see,
it's new though, man. It's a new day, bro.
No. Listen, I'm not knocking it. Don't get me wrong.
No, but you say like UK wise.
Package.
Right.
I'm talking about the package. So for what he represents and what he looks like, I think are two different things. And I think that we're so fickle as an audience that if we don't fit completely into this box, then we're gonna kind of reject it a little bit.
I've got a theory, that there's an issue with male UK R&B artists because we've had them. Like we had Lamar, we had Nathan, we had Loic Essien, and all of these artists that were destined for, like, we thought we were going to do great things, and just for some strange reason it just didn't connect.
Didn't happen.
Like, I've never understood why. Like that Nathan's Masterpiece album was sick.
Yeah,
one of the best UK R&B albums I've ever heard. But he just never like took it all the way to where we thought he was going to take it, and I've never understood it.
No, so he I don't know, man. He done a madness. He couldn't. He got desperate.
That was after.
That was after, though.
Even on the. Even if you talk about female,
Angel is just a subject within itself. Like you said, why it hasn't connected. Like I don't think it's like nobody has the answer. There's just like 100 different theories, because I played at his album release party, and literally we was just playing the tracks on loop, mixing in between and stuff. And then when I went away and I had time to just, listen to it, I'm thinking, oh, yo, yeah, I can play that on radio, and oh yeah, that's a boom track, and yo, this is a wicked piece of work. But
do you think Western, yeah?
Can I just go
on.
On that, yeah? For me, I actually have thought that, like, see Shaka and Angel, yeah? Them two in particular, I've seen them anyway, just like take away what people deem as success or whatever. I've seen them as different types of artists, in a sense that obviously stylistically they're different, but also that you have the artist here who is, they may not be the biggest artist in the world, but they have a fan base that grows with them. And Shaka, for me, has always been able to have that. Like, but I've gone to every one of Shaka's shows, yeah? And like from when it started small and it like got bigger, but Shaka's fan base is like a community of people. And it's like, you start seeing the people, like almost the same people that are going to the shows, but a bit more, and then a bit more, and a bit more. And I feel like Shaka, to me, will always be able to be that artist who can tour for a long time. He might not always have the biggest record in the world, but he'll always have a community of people that will come out and support him. And you'll see that in rap as well. Like, you'll see that in like rap, with certain rap acts and that. They may not be the fucking Future biggest, or whatnot, but they might just be the act that's like,
they got their core,
they got their core following. They can go all over the place and just
be like Dave East.
To me, that to me is that's success to me, because you've got artists that can come out and have an amazing 2 years,
and then 2 years, die.
But they can't do shows after that, and they haven't been out long enough to be deemed as a legacy act. But you've got an artist who can, travel around, do shows, make a living, people will support him and stuff like that. With A, though, A has always seemed like a person who we consciously or subconsciously have been rooting for to blow, though. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, bust through the roof and do a madness. And honestly, I personally couldn't tell you why it hasn't been that way so far, but I think that I feel like he's got an interesting story to tell, and I think that
I think he's sick. I think he's sick. But I think, do you feel like that? All right, obviously, Western, him and one of the guys, Western, are brothers and stuff. But I feel like, in a way, this might sound controversial, but to me, I feel like Angel was replaced by Western. It sounds mad, and I don't mean to be disrespectful if it comes across that way, but that's how it feels to me, that Angel had his spot and he was climbing. He didn't get the support that he needed, but he was there in it. And then it felt like Western just replaced him
and took it further.
Yeah, because it feels like, even though there's room for both of them, it feels like from Western came about, Angel's gone. So
I see them as two different.
Yeah, but as I say,
I feel like Western filled a lane that was wide open for them. Like they slot nicely in between what is popping in terms of UK urban, Afro swing, dancehall, bashment, and the R&B. There was no one in that lane, and they just stood in it and just took over that lane. Like, they can get played during your Afro swing set. They can play during the R&B
during
set.
the R&B, and possibly during the dancehall.
Do you know what I'm saying? They just sat in there nicely. They just took it. I don't think Angel was doing that. I think Angel's definitely more in the R&B lane. Yeah. So
I hear you, but that's how it feels to me, because I don't know, man. It's just like,
you feel like they're not coexisting.
I've never heard a conversation, or I've never seen, like, I remember I'm not as deep in the R&B as you guys, but I've never seen like an Angel and a Western like do something, and just, it doesn't have to be a collaboration, but like even in the same conversation, I just felt like it was a bit of a replacement. It's a bit strange.
But I just don't see the replacement because I don't think the sounds are the same. I think the association is just that his brother is in the collection.
Okay.
Because his brother's in the collection, and his brother technically, not that he's exactly like him, but his brother is almost like him. So then I think people associate the fact that because his brother's like him, it's like, I get what you're saying, see. Now, you look at it as almost like they've replaced him, but I feel like their sound, like Ace is saying, is nowhere near his sound.
No, me personally, I know that they're not, I'm not putting them in the same bracket, but I'm just talking about how it's perceived. And if I perceive it this way, I'm sure some people perceive it this way. Since Into drop, I haven't heard nothing of a big level from Angel. Since Into. So maybe I missed it. I'm not saying that I've got the answers, but that's how it feels to me.
He's still around, though. He's still around. He's still here. He's still obviously talented, and you know, there's still time for him, innit? He's still making music. I was watching him on his live talking about content, like not knowing when to drop in it because now we're in this situation. It's like, is it a good time to drop? Like, because people are in their houses, or is it not a good time to drop because maybe people are listening to music a little bit less, and whatnot, and like, I don't know, man. Time will tell. Time will definitely tell. But
he got a sick reggae song.
He's got a story to tell, and like, I'm looking forward.
Yeah, blood.
Yeah, that song bad.
When I was in Gambia, they were playing it. I was in a bar in Gambia, just listening to it. I even put it on my thing, like, wow, like he's out there. One Gambian DJ, like playing off of a Dell laptop that was probably like thinking, raw, working though.
He's a very, very talented brother, man.
Yeah. All right. You know, like one thing I did realize recently, obviously Teddy Riley and Babyface did their historical clash. But they broke records. That was the most viewed live stream. Like they're doing things. That also shows how big of an audience R&B itself as a genre has.
Yeah, of course.
But I unfortunately didn't get to watch it because I thought that it was just going to be Teddy Riley, on his old man thing. So I just need to know, like, what do you guys did any of you watch it, and if you can break
let me get my 10 pence in quickly. And so I mean, I watched firstly, I'm a Teddy Riley fan, so I was always going to be rooting for him anyway. I think, obviously, as we know, the first one, technical issues and all that, I think where he let himself down was he didn't just go in there and just do it simple. I don't know if anyone saw the RZA and the premiere one. They just went in, done their thing, tune for tune. Teddy Riley, I need to put on a show. You don't need to do that, mate. As I said, I'm a Teddy fan. I think that though they're both very historical producers, Babyface was more known for making ballads. You can't have a ballad producer up against Teddy Riley, who created a genre of music. To me, it didn't make any sense. That's just me personally. I think Teddy maybe against, I don't know, maybe a Jermaine Dupri, Dallas Austin, like even Teddy versus old school P. Diddy probably would have made more sense than Teddy versus Babyface. But I'm a Teddy fan, so I'm going to say Teddy won all day long. Some of the tunes that Babyface was playing, I thought I was in Stone Love's Yardie dance.
I said, where's Stone Love?
He created a genre of music that in itself is the highest pinnacle for me.
Okay. What do you think? Who else watched it?
I watched. I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in live.
Oh, you couldn't get in?
Nah,
like that.
I was upset, boy. I went to bed fuming.
But I was in. Do you know what? I was in. Like, see, as soon as man turned on, it was like, pause. It was like, there was only like 30,000 people in there.
Yeah.
I was in early.
I was fuming. So I had to watch it. I watched it the next morning. But like Godfather, I'm a huge Teddy fan. That's my absolute guy. And as I was watching it live, not going to lie, I was just getting gassed by the Teddy tunes. But then I watched it back again and saying, Teddy lost.
Yeah.
Teddy 100% lost. Like, when I really analyze certain tunes that Babyface played, nah, bro. Like like Karen White, Superwoman, and Tevin Campbell. Can we like?
Yeah, there's some big tunes.
Even on the performance of the back-to-back, yeah, Babyface was just man was in the velvet blazer. Man had the candles behind him.
You know what? Listen, it wasn't even. It was also, when you really deep it, Babyface was kinda. He was kinda David Rodigan in it. What he was doing, is he would just talk a something, and then drop the rhythm, and then like even the little shades where he was like, he said to Teddy, I think he played the Janet Jackson thing,
the remix.
He said, "Oh, what you produce? I knew the guy who produced. Oh, it's a remix. Oh, it's a remix.
He goes, I don't do remixes.
You know what? Even that, just that little bit of charisma and not cockiness, but you know what I'm saying? Like that bounce added to that for me.
That's needed though, isn't it? That's clash element.
Yeah.
You need that.
Yeah.
You need that.
I watched it and like, do you know what? I'll tell you something funny, yeah? So I watched it the first time around where like I've logged in and that and I'm seeing Teddy Riley like with a backing dancer and all kinds of shit. Yeah? And
DJ.
bearing in mind, I'm logging on because I'm thinking, it feels to me, this is just my personal opinion, it feels to me that Teddy Riley for me was more like my kind of era for me.
Yeah.
Growing up. I didn't really check for Babyface that much. I just checked for Teddy. So in my opinion, I like Babyface. I respect what he's done in his career and some of the smashes that he's made. But I'm here to see a man get smoked.
Easy food.
Bro, on my life, I'll be honest with you, the first time around, Babyface was smoking him quite bad. Like,
the first time, yeah.
I couldn't believe what was going on. That was only because Teddy Riley came trying to do
too much
stuff.
Too much.
He come trying to do too much. So it was almost like, okay, next time around, I don't know, maybe like Teddy Riley's grandson must have texted him and said, yo. Granddad, like, you got
less is more, man. Less is more.
Yeah? So he's come there and like sat down properly, but you know what? Yeah, again, I actually scored it. I actually like went through it, wrote it down, and like, and
Chuckie took it serious, you know.
way. And some of it, obviously, as you said, Godfather, was very difficult because you know you're looking at a man who's created a sound, and like in a couple of the rounds, like he's played something, and then Babyface has followed it up with a ballad or whatever, yeah. But you know what? Again, there's no rules really. It's a clash, isn't it? It's like
you got to play.
And like some of it was just like it was hard to judge. But when I looked at it, I was like, I can't help but feel that Babyface won. And even when I looked on my list, he'd won by 3. He won by 3.
All
right, Gods. Let me ask you a serious question. Yeah.
Go on.
No fan, no bias. Honestly, as a music man. Who won the clash?
As a music man, it pains me to say Babyface did win. I think there's a lot of tunes that Teddy could have drawn for, and the clash would have been
I agree.
Round 1. Like, he could have drawn. Remember, he produced Michael Jackson's Dangerous album.
Yeah.
Any song he plays off that, you're winning. The greatest musician of our time, Babyface, you can compete with that. You can't. He could have played anything from the first Blackstreet album, any Guy's song, you know, like. But he's drawing. I'm like, Teddy, why are you not playing? Like,
you know what? They were both saving big records because Babyface didn't really get into the Boys to Men stuff. Really, he didn't really get into End of the Road, and you know what I mean. So like, Teddy was saving tunes. They were both saving.
You can't do that. You know what? You know what's mad? Like, Babyface played My, Johnny Gill.
Oh, jeez.
And then Blackstreet, and then Teddy dropped Beat. And it was like by Blackstreet, and it was like, that's a tune.
It's not the same.
Follow that.
It's not levels.
Yeah.
It's not levels.
My needs. You need to hit that with a heavy hammer. Like,
yeah.
pull out whatever big gun you got, because that's a monster. That's a monster.
You know what it is with these guys, yeah? I think this is clashing in general, yeah, because I saw a couple others. I think I saw, what was the guy? Neo versus some other songwriter.
John
Remember his name?
That was good, man.
It was good, but you see what happens with clashes, yeah, is that I feel like, and it happens like with just regular DJs, yeah, is you feel like I'm just going to save all my big guns for when he drops his big guns. When you run out of time, and you ain't played your big guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sometimes you should like just go hard. Like just bad them up.
Or just throw one in the middle so that man knows I'm not playing with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is
but
not a game thing.
I do also understand that, like, and I saw this in a conversation before, that like sometimes it can be smart to concede around. If someone hits you with a mad one, you could say, all right, cool. You know what? I'm gonna give him this.
I'll give you that one.
Because it might not be smart to go. It might not be smart to go heavy tune with heavy tune. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna concede it. You hit me with the heavy. I'm gonna concede that one. Next one though, I'm gonna hit you with this one.
Yes, that makes sense.
Do you get what I'm saying?
If he's got a Michael Jackson, and he's got his heavy, I don't know, his Boys to Men, you might think, raw, Boys to Men is a winner, but not against this. So you take that, and then when I drop my Boys to Men, you ain't got captain me.
Yeah.
There was rounds that I found really hot. Like I tied a couple of them. Like, I remember when Babyface played Kissing Games, and straight away I thought he's got this round. Straight away he's got this round. And then Babyface played Every Little Step Bobby Brown, and I was like,
both sick.
He followed that one up mean.
Yeah. Who went first then?
Teddy went first.
He
played right here, SWV.
So he's got a bit of a disadvantage.
Well, no, because they changed.
They swapped it.
They kept swapping. Okay,
they swapped it halfway through. Yeah,
they swapped it halfway through.
Sick.
That's good, man. That is sick. But that just goes to show the power that R&B actually has. Do you get what I'm saying? It goes to show, bro. Listen, like I tried to watch it, and then I think I logged in, and it looked like they were having issues again. I just kissed my teeth and locked off.
I almost did the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
And locked off. And then I couldn't get back in the next day. It's like, where did you see it the next day?
I watched on YouTube.
Because I went to their live. I went to their live. You know, like you can go back and look. And it was there. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they actually swapped, like, when it first was going on, they were swapped, because at first it was on, like, Teddy's live. Yeah, you know, it's funny, when you watched, like, how this all played out, yeah, before they even clashed, you could see who was, like, the cool, chilled, easy to work with guy, and who was the guy who had OCD and just the flipping, like, you could tell he's hard work. Teddy seemed like hard work. You know what? Like, no one talked about this, yeah, but Teddy didn't really want to go on Babyface's live, because he wanted to be on his.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He wanted it on his bag.
He wanted the followers.
Yeah, he goes, because they said, someone must have rang him and said, you know what, yeah, you're going to have to cut off and go on Babyface's live. Then he was like, and he's still going to be on mine, no? He didn't want to do it. And then when he was like, you got to go, and they was like, all right, guys.
That's funny.
We gotta go over to Babyface. He's bare fidgeting, bro. Bare times he's getting up and walking off and doing all kinds of shit. I'm like, has he got ants in his pants or something?
But you're right, he does come across as nuff, because that was the definition of doing way too much. Way too much. Trust me, he was like...
He had a full production team, bro. Like, I saw some pictures afterwards. They were like people, like 1 and 2. There was like a full, like, you know what I mean, film crew on set. It was crazy, bro.
Do you know what I would like to see?
What?
Because, you know, like, okay, I love that TGT album, by the way. Like, I loved it so bad, yeah? But I see Tyrese was doing a hell of a lot of talking.
No,
yeah, he was doing a lot of it, talking about, because they were having issues about money, weren't they? That's why you can't see another one, and that's why they're not talking, because he wants the big dough, yeah? But Genuine's telling him, I got the big tune.
I got the big
tune.
Mad.
And he's telling
The
him
argument's mad, isn't it? The argument's mad. Yeah.
But you know what? I would like to see, just to settle this once and for all, yeah, Tyrese and Genuine. And just for Tyrese to just feel it a piece.
Yeah, you know what? We got to call there. We're gonna obviously we ain't got that kind of power, but we're gonna try and call them out because that's.
I think Tyrese needs that one. So.
Yeah, I think Tyrese smokes him.
Because I don't even think Tyrese can.
I don't really. You think Tyrese beats Genuine?
You don't think he's not smoked. I think he wins. I don't think.
No way.
You think Tyrese beats Genuine?
I think if you break it down, if it was 10, sorry, Syfe, if it was 10 songs, 10 songs, I think Tyrese will get the better of him.
Really?
I think Tyrese will get the better of him.
No way.
I think so.
Wow.
No way.
You
I
are
don't think so.
10.
10.
No.
Nah, no way.
5 songs.
You know what? And you know, if it goes 20, it's a rap. If it goes 20, it's a rap. I don't like. Has Tyrese even got 20 tunes like that?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He would even have a tough time with Tank. He would have a tough time. He would have a tough time.
I don't even know if Tyrese lives with Tank.
I think he would have a hard time. I think he would have a very difficult day.
I feel like you know what? If they won't do it, I think Syfer should represent for Tyrese, and Chuckie can be on Team Gen, and then
you know what? We could do that. You know, that would be actually exciting. Still, we could do that. We'll talk to Eddie Hearn and that one with Techie still like.
What do you think, Gods? Who do you think takes that?
Genuine all day.
Yeah.
My thing is this: has Tyrese even got 10 hits?
That's it.
Yeah.
He's got some bangers. I can't lie. He's got
but
bangers.
hits are different, bro.
Yeah, hits are different. That's what I'm saying. I think Genuine wins. I think the more tunes you go, I think
Tyrese ain't even got 10 bangers.
But maybe if you chuck it, what about if you chuck in Fast and Furious?
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing with regards to them. He's throwing in that I'm still a guy.
Yeah,
the one argument I would give for Tyrese though is that the tunes that he does have are a madness.
Monsters. They're monsters.
They're a madness still.
Genuine, no disrespect to Genuine. And it's when I said smoked, that seemed a bit like there's no contest. Of course there's a contest, but I think 10 tunes, Tyrese would definitely edge it because
I think
monsters. As in, Genuine has obviously some bangers, but I think maybe on a wider audience, some of the album tunes that are monsters, are they gonna live with some of Tyrese that he's gonna throw at you? I don't know.
But even if we go for the hits, what is Tyrese gonna play after Pony? What is he gonna play? What are you going to play after Pony?
Why you give him that? Remember what Chuckie said? Remember when Chuckie said, sometimes you got to get him around.
Okay, all right.
All right, take it. All right,
take it.
Yeah.
Like when Tyrese wants to drop, and if he's smart enough, if he drops something like Housekeeping, which that should be shelling a lot of tunes, but you know, some people might, but I don't care. That's a monster.
Housekeeping's a banger.
Thank you. It's a monster.
But so anxious, Genuine is better.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that.
All right, so hold on. All right, Syfe, listen.
Don't even let me
me, and I think I'm on the wrong team.
Listen, don't even let me fling in them jeans down, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't even...
Bro, that's when it all goes. That's it.
I'm making what? We're not gonna slap that around?
Oh yeah, no.
You know, I just hate
differences though.
Differences.
That's making it big, but it don't beat in those jeans. Not even Sweet Lady don't beat that.
Nah,
in those jeans, it's a monster, bruv.
So, all right, listen. Like as Chuckie said, we give them that round as well. So right now he's 2 up.
Well, are we going to go the whole thing? Have we got more things to talk about?
Yeah, one more thing I want to ask. One more thing I want to ask, because obviously, I feel I've never seen in my whole life an artist get cancelled like R. Kelly, yeah?
Oh, no, you missed the question, though.
What's
Yeah,
the
you
question?
did.
All right, let's do R. Kelly. Pause. Let's do the R. Kelly question and then do the albums one.
Oh yeah, no, I want to end on the album one because I think it's better. This I don't even want to stay too long on this R Kelly thing.
Right.
What I want to know is from everyone is what's your stance and can you take away the greatness that he done?
Godfather.
Sorry. Can I ask as well though? Yeah, if anyone in there is saying they cancel him, do you cancel then everything he's done, as in production, features?
Right. So
it's a wrap.
My thing is, as all his songs are cancelled, production I wouldn't cancel.
Why then though?
His songs, I can't.
I think it's his voice that you want to cancel, yeah, as opposed to his work.
I was actually having a conversation with my brother about this today.
Yeah.
There's other artists who may have done exactly the same thing as him that as DJs we're still playing, but we don't know that's what they've done.
Yeah, cool.
Kelly, cancelled. I've got a teenage daughter. So for me, I've got nieces. That's cancelled because I can't support any man that thinks it's okay to do what he did. I can't support that.
All right.
But what I'm saying is though, if you cancel him technically as a human being, technically, that's what you're doing. Once you're saying you're cancelling him and you're cancelling his music, you cancel him as a human being. Technically, if you're playing his production, you ain't cancelled him.
Yeah, but in terms of production, there's enough tunes you don't even know who produced it. If you can,
but I don't. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you know he produced that tune, do you play it still?
Try not to play it.
So what? You're not playing Aaliyah then, like certain big hits.
There's more.
For example, that's just an example.
Are you playing AJ Nothing But a Number?
When you play that and you think about it, you're deep in it. You're thinking, bro,
there is a mad.
What about like didn't he do Casey and JoJo All My Life? Is that not him?
I don't play that tune anyway.
What would you do? Like, what would you do?
Did you write that?
Yeah. I didn't know that. What would you do? What would you do if that was the wedding song of the wedding that booked you for a bag?
Ooh.
You'd have to play.
What are you gonna do?
That bag he's playing and pulling it up, blood. I mean. All right, Syfer, what do you think? What are you saying then?
Oh man, it's techie, you know. But I'm gonna be honest and real. When I've been, say, at functions, so say a christening and these things, I'll be honest, I'm very conscious of, you know, like I played at Geo Bar and it was a older, mature crowd. So R. Kelly Step in the Name of Love is right up their street.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be the guy, you know, with the, excuse me, young man.
Yeah, can you turn off?
I did, but guess what? When I made my slow jam mix CD for the ball, R. Kelly was in there. He was on that because you just can't.
You don't want to.
It's too mad. Like, I just think I'm conscious. He's not cancelled, but I'm conscious of, you know, my
surroundings.
Your surroundings, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's got an ASBO.
Yeah. Listen, you might want to play what's the one with Aaliyah? Oh, what's the song?
Back and Forth.
No. They do the remix. They do the.
What's that?
Oh no, I know because it's that big a tune in it. It's that big a tune.
Oh,
At Your Best.
Yeah, At Your Best. That remix.
Right. When you're playing R&B, that if that tune ain't in the set, it's a bit like what was you doing? So
nah, I'm not having that.
I don't agree, man.
Do you know what?
So if I'm going to let you jump in front of the bus on your own.
I don't agree, bro.
Oh, gosh.
I don't agree, bro. No, without a doubt, like, hands down, R. Kelly's the greatest. It's the saddest thing I'm going to say. He is the greatest, but I can't play him anymore. And I think it goes with what Godfather says. Like, there are loads of artists that we know have done fuckery. Like, we've kind of like, we've heard about it. There's been speculation. there's been stories, but we've actually watched how many episodes of this documentary and really watched and deeped from the beginning the real life fuckery that this man's done. It's hard to play them tunes. Them tunes don't sound the same anymore, bro. They like, you're hearing certain lyrics, you're like, fam, that don't even hit the same no more.
Yeah,
But it's hard because I like what Fats was saying. There are certain R. Kelly productions I kind of still play. I still play Clubbing. I might
That's
still
what I'm
play
saying, though.
ATL Calling All the Girls.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't play Bump and Grind.
It's not really R. Kelly, innit?
I don't know, but then as well, I was having a conversation with someone the other day. It's like, well, how can you have this standpoint on R. Kelly, but you play Vibes Cartel in the clubs every weekend? Yeah. It's not like, it's not even like, I don't even
I can answer that.
Go on.
Yeah.
I can answer that.
Go on, Chuckie.
This is going to sound like a very unfortunate thing to say, yeah. But I think that we all have things that we all have our conscious and unconscious biases.
Yeah.
And I think that we were all in agreement that, like, we know that murder is bad. We know it's a terrible thing. But you know what? Like, the paedophile thing and like all of that. Something
it's
about that just feels a tad bit different.
Worse.
It's a whole different world.
Listen, I don't know what it is, but it just feels a bit different.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Chuckie? I think that not that everybody is a murderer, but I believe that you can not sympathize, but you know that, okay, if something was done, you may react in that way, whatever it may be.
There's a reason for murder.
Yeah.
Not that you should do it.
Not that you should do it.
Not that you should do it, but you can find a reason to kill someone. Yeah.
You can never find a reason. You can never find a reason.
There you go. There's no reason, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
and I think it's that.
Bad man don't need no reason to kill. So
yeah.
That's real. That's real. So, Chuck,
but also as well,
go on.
Also as well, unfortunately, that what happened with Vibes Cartel speaks to his bad boyism that people like anyway.
Yeah,
Do you understand what I'm saying? Unfortunately, because it's like, he makes enough gal tune, but when he does his bad boy thing, he does his bad boy thing proper. So when that's happened, it's unfortunate and it shouldn't have happened.
It's like,
but for a lot of people, it speaks to that. So it's like, cool. But if you are like doing the underage thing, and then you are potentially writing about it, and it coincides,
mad.
It hits a bit different.
Oh, you know what? He was writing about it. So Chuckie, I take it that he's cancelled for you as well, yeah?
I don't play. I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I will still say out loud, R. Kelly is the greatest thing that I've seen in I haven't seen anything like it, bro. Like this is like my hot take is this to a degree. Yeah, some of you will understand what I mean when I say this and understand the comparisons a little bit. Yeah, it's like see what Drake's doing. This is what R. Kelly's been doing. R. Kelly has been in the clubs for years. He's been making bangers for years. He's been making gal tune for years. Even when he was like having court case. Man, listen, the man had a court case and made Step in the Name of Love. Bro, understand the type of talent that you have to have, but also, unfortunately, how crazy you have to be to come out of a courtroom and make a tune that makes the whole world dance.
Happy people in that.
Happy people, bro.
So it's crazy, bro. It's insane. I can't really play it, man.
What happened to Gods? Gods went, bro.
He might have had a phone call or something, but he'll chip back in.
Wait, Syfer, what are you saying?
Then, just argument's sake, what happened to him getting cancelled the first time this?
Thank you. That's all I was gonna say.
I can answer that,
bro. Let me. I'm gonna basically, I personally, again with you guys, I think musically, like, he's great, fantastic. I've got teenage daughters and that, but I also knew when I was a youth that he was messing with Aaliyah. I knew this. I knew it. And I feel like, and I watched I remember watching that piss thing when I was in college. Yeah, I remember watching that. I was in college and we was all sitting around one computer. Half was doing black chat and that, as you do, and then we was watching that. I remember it. Like
C6, you're not telling the truth. You're not telling the truth. If you watch that video and you didn't say amongst your young brethren, them, she looks like a big woman still. You're not telling the truth.
To be honest, I did think that. You know why though? Because I was her age.
All right.
She was with a big man. So in my head, I'm saying, right, you get me? However, we knew, innit? We knew about the marriage to Aaliyah. We knew these things. And we didn't cancel him. And I feel like
I can answer that.
Huh?
I can answer that.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is actually it's a small percentage of that, yeah, a small percentage of that. But also, like, you gotta understand the climate of like how life was then as well.
Yeah.
Firstly, the first thing that you mentioned was, yeah, you was young. I was young. So like when I'm hearing about this, yeah, I've heard about it, but like it didn't live with me. It was just like, right, okay, right, he did that. That's mad.
Yeah,
And
but
then
it's not about us though. What the DJs that we listened to didn't cancel them. The TV didn't cancel them. No one cancelled them.
Yeah, but you know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is? We have to remember as well.
That's true.
We're in different times. Like, remember back in the day, there's not social media like that. So the news, listen, no. Let me explain. The news traveled to us differently. So I remember being young and hearing rumors that R. Kelly was married to Aaliyah, but we couldn't get concrete information. We're in England, they're in America. It's not 100%.
We didn't even really know if it was true.
That's what I'm trying to say, Chuck.
We didn't even know. Remember, Leo, there was a big thing about her age. Remember, they
used to say she was all 16, 18 or something when she was like 16 and all that.
Yeah. But to be honest, I don't play it. Your sound is moving mad, fam.
Syfer, go on, talk, Syfer.
The songs told us. The songs.
I know, but we didn't know. We didn't know, bro. We didn't know.
Syfer, we're not.
No. Back then.
Syfer, you see when he's talking about seems like you're ready. I'm not thinking about no you know. I'm not thinking about no you. Listen, all I'm thinking about is I can't wait to get a girl in my house and have her to a point where she's damp in a panty and she feels like she's ready. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm not linking it. I'm not linking it with nothing. I'm linking it with me.
Yeah, that's after the date. Like, we've done the thing. I've spent my peas. Now you seem like you're ready. But
I'm not trying to justify. I'm trying to get some context to why we didn't cancel him before. But what I'm saying is, the songs told us. What is the song, Aaliyah, when she says, "Oh, your body's calling."
Your body's calling.
Telling us. We knew.
No, but we didn't know. Like Chuckie saying. We was saying to ourselves, bro, when I play that on my cassette, bro, this girl needs to know what I'm talking to her.
But hear this, yeah. Just to answer when we watched the documentary, we still didn't have concrete evidence. But the same, because he wasn't convicted when we watched it. So the fact is, we made up our minds because the world made up their minds.
Yeah.
And one second, Chuck. If the demand for if R. Kelly wasn't cancelled globally, I don't think that we, as the DJs, would continue to cancel them. I think our standpoint is based on the world standpoint.
I'm conscious. I'm just conscious of myself.
We're conscious of it because there's like I just feel like he is the only person that's had a proper cancelling. I remember watching one of your podcasts when you talk about cancel culture. He is the only one that is almost like it's not even part of the culture. This is the cancellation of the forever. This is the biggest cancellation ever.
I agree, but I disagree to a degree because you know. Firstly, we always have to remember, like, we're looking at it from a perspective of like it's a child that he's dealing with. Some of the stuff that was going on in the house and that I can't speak for that. You know, like when he had the women enslaved in the yards and all. I'm not even really like it might sound like a controversial thing to say, but I'm not paying that too much mind.
Yeah.
That could be bad, yeah. But the reason why this wasn't for me about the world cancelling him, yeah. I thought one of the good things about that documentary, the first one anyway, was the balance in the sense of they still had a person in there who was his brother that was defending him. It wasn't all about like, you know, R. Kelly. They had a person in there that was like defending R. Kelly. But when you're hearing, for me anyway, the first-hand stories now of the tour manager saying this and like all of these other little things that we're piecing together, these were the first times I was proper hearing it. So now, when I'm listening to the tunes, it goes to what like Ace was saying, yeah? It's hard to hear some of these tunes now.
Yeah.
And like, yes, he was telling us before, but I wasn't relating it. I was just relating it to me. And I think a lot of people do that with music anyway. That's why when you go to certain shows and people cry when they hear a song, when the person's performing it, they're crying because that song means something to them. It was a part of their life. It was a part of their relationship. And that was what R. Kelly did so well for a lot of us. But when someone's now turned around here and said to us, bro, just letting you know what my man was doing, and then you hear certain tunes and you're kind of like,
it changes the whole meaning.
It's a banger, but it's risky.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Yeah. So like my family, their song is Happy People, innit? You play that, all the aunts get up, everyone's on the dance floor. It's my mum's 60th birthday.
Yeah, that's your candy. Yeah, that's your family's candy.
Oh, sorry, 50th birthday. Yeah, 50th birthday. My mum's 50th birthday. It's time, innit? I said to the DJ, bro, it's a bit mad, but this concludes the party, innit? Happy People, bro. He's like, all right, cool. Plays it. There's this group of people in the corner, bruv. I've never seen people move so mad in my life. No! Get it off! Bruv, my family are in the middle having the time of their life, bro. What do you want me to do? What? I'm meant to pull it up because you lot over here are losing your mind.
I got a hot take. If you actually listen to this, like some of the upbringings that our parents and grandparents had here, they tolerated a whole load of fuckery, you know.
Bro,
hey, listen,
some of them songs,
listen,
bro, some of them songs are crazy, bro.
Wait, let me finish. There was a whole load of rape. There was a whole load of date raping. Yeah. There was a whole load of sexual assaulting.
Underage sex.
Underage. Bro, that's what they did. So when they're hearing about R. Kelly and that, listen, that's water on a duck's back.
That's like because their dad is their cousin.
And even some of the artists that they consider as gods, if we really want to talk about Marvin Gaye and certain man, do you know what I mean? Like, these men were on the R. Kelly thing from early.
That man, they were fuckery.
But yeah, facts. I get you though. You just got to do it. If your family are feeling it, then people have to just.
Bro, listen. There was a circle in the party, and people are getting dragged into the middle, doing a two-step, coming back out. Someone else, it's going off. What do you want us to do, bro? It is going off right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
but yeah,
it's a sticky one.
For now, I'm just, what I've done, I haven't deleted his music, What I've done, you know what, I got it all together, and then I highlighted the name, and then I put 7 exclamation marks before his name, just so I don't accidentally play it. But I didn't want to delete it. So it's on my Serato. So if I select it, and then I see it, I'm like, oh yeah. Let me stop.
So hold on, can I ask you?
If there's one song I find really hard to not play anymore, it's Vibe, and it's because I love that song so
in
bad.
a swing set, it's mad.
It makes me so happy. Like it makes me so happy, and like enough times I just want to draw for it, but it's a controversial. It's not controversial, but it's like.
Do you think though? Obviously, it's mad. Yeah, he's cancelled, whatever. That's how everyone feels, but. Don't you, not necessarily, but don't you think there's some songs that, like, let's say Happy People is not on the same vibe as Your Body's Calling or whatever it may be. Do you know what I'm saying?
The artist though, isn't it?
I know, but what I'm saying is the vibe is different. So
but leave his
no, but I'm saying like what Chuckie's saying is vibe is not that vibe, if you know what I mean. It's not on that mad
for
thing.
me again. And
do you know what? There's an argument because he could have been at the school and he could have said to the girl, "Vibe, you got it, you got it." You know what I'm saying? Been outside the school gate singing it.
When you talk about not playing certain tunes like R. Kelly tunes, it goes back to when we was talking about is R&B dead. There's so much other New Jack Swing tunes. There's so much other slow jam tunes. But you have to draw off a vibe or age ain't nothing but a number.
No, but you know when it's just you, innit? It's you. It's not the song. It's your personal.
I struggle not to play the R. Kelly tune is the tune he done with Biggie. That's the only one I think I want to drop that. But
fucking you tonight.
Do you know what? I played it, you know? I played it, because you know when I did the exclamation mark thing, I had R. Kelly's name in it. So to me, that's just Biggie in it. So I'm out and I'm like doing an old school hip hop set, and then I drop that tune, and then I hear R. Kelly's voice, and I'm like, but it ain't dropped yet. But the people them didn't mind, and I think they didn't mind because it's not his song. He's just featuring.
There are some songs that like I said, I'm very conscious. So, and it's so funny. It's not even the big songs that you struggle not to play. Little ones like Wonderful with Ja Rule, like it just falls into the set. So you know, you're a bit like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna play that, but that and then Always on Time and then It just puts the whole set together. So like,
buy something else, man. Buy something.
But big and serious. You know what's mad though? When you go to like some like white places and stuff, bro,
they don't give a shit.
Ignition is going off.
Yeah,
all the time.
They don't, bro. They don't even know. They didn't even watch that. They probably watch the documentary. They probably even watched the documentary. The documentary ain't nothing to them. Who? What? Where? Like
it's not in there. It's not in there.
No, it's not. They don't get. Ignition is going off. All right. So just before we wrap it, I just want to ask you guys, I basically asked for 2 game changer albums. Like, so this can just be your favorite or what you honestly think came and changed the game, like album wise. It can be from the past or right up. So
about it now,
yeah. So yeah, all right then, cool. So we've been starting with God. So let's start with Syfer on this one.
I actually thought about this. I don't know about game changers, but Jodeci Diary of a Mad Band.
That's my thing.
It's just
I was gonna go down one of those.
It's just an amazing body of work. As a new man, send it to your mother for what? Like, I don't know what he's talking about, but as a like, okay, but yeah, I'm vibes-in. Diary of a Man, I still listen to the album now from start to finish. No skipping, because that just resonates different. And again, I was thinking about this and I couldn't decide 8701 and Confessions. If we're talking about game changers, I don't know how they changed the game, but I just feel that little period, I couldn't pick between the two, but those 2 albums I feel were just more so 8701 because I was in school. How could you have a whole school of Pitney just literally listening to from track 1 all the way to the end, could sing every single tune, like, and there was other things going on in it. Like, we was raving to garage, really, innit? Yeah. Raving to garage. It was all about Double D Experience for the first 2 hours of the rave, playing R&B, and then after that, it was just stop that, get that, what, and everything else. But that album was so prominent that you have a whole school, year 10 and year 11, talking just about those songs, or whatever year we were in. Like, we were talking just about those songs. We didn't care about anything else at that time. So those 2 albums for me, man.
Okay, cool. All right, Ace, what are you saying?
I want to agree with Diary of a Madman. I think, do you know what's funny? Forever My Lady is actually my favorite Jodeci album, but I think Diary of a Madman is actually what we're talking about in terms of game changing. Like you saw everybody trying to do the Sweet Boy Tug after Diary of a Mad Band. You saw all of the R&B groups started to come out to be a little bit different. I mean, like, man, them started like dyeing their hair a little bit, trying to be like the ones. Like that was to me when they perfected what they were doing, 100%. I'll be honest, my real first R&B game changer is 12 Play.
I was thinking that.
I'm not gonna. I mean, like there's been no R&B album that has changed the way, like the way that we listen to R&B in the bedroom, that we played it in the, like, that album did it's perfect. It's a perfect R&B. Well, before we knew the context, it was actually perfect. So it was 12 Play, but I'm gonna replace that with Diary of a Mad Band. I wanted to say one that was like more new school, one that I feel like has helped change or have R&B turn the corner over the last 10 years is, I think, Bryson Tiller's.
I was about to say that too.
He's my guy still. Yeah, like Bryson, I think at that moment, that is when it was like, raw, R&B's quite cool again. And I saw like more newer R&B artists were coming out, and people were like more proud to say, yo, I'm listening to this new guy, his name's Bryson. So I think Bryson Tiller, Trap Soul, and Jodeci Diary, man.
Soul. When I first heard Don't,
that was Syfer's anthem.
Yeah, great tune.
Syfer play it and give himself a money pull up. You know what I mean?
I think, what did this guy just do? Like,
the
intro on the album, I was just like, huh? I'm pulling up the intro, and you know, someone's like, oh, have you heard the rest of it? Nah, I ain't got past track 4 yet or something. Yeah, man, definitely.
Cool. Chucks, what are you saying?
It's so funny, yeah, because I didn't do this, but straight away I was thinking in my head, okay, who would I pick? Firstly, straight away, I'm like, I can't pick a game-changing album without saying R. Kelly. I can't. And 12 Play was definitely it. So when Ace said that, I was like, yes, for those exact reasons, yeah. But also, I was thinking of like 2 maybe more newer ones, and like, I was at first gonna say Confessions, and the reason why I was gonna say Confessions, yeah, is because I remember before that Justified come out, yeah, and like that was the kind of thing. But then Usher came and smacked off everybody's head with this, yeah, like everyone's head with that, and it just was a whole like and like sales wise and stuff like that. I remember hearing it doing an absolute madness, but I actually thought about Trap Soul, and the reason why I thought about Trap Soul, yeah, is because with that particular project, yeah, that was like, again, it was like, I heard this and I was thinking, what is this? But it was so nostalgic because he was using like a lot of sounds from like old school R&B that nobody was doing at that time. And I actually feel that from off the back of that album, whether it be directly or indirectly, I feel like that has contributed to legacy acts actually existing the way that they do now. You know, like nostalgia is such a big thing now. Like you've got a lot of old school artists that can tour and do quite big shows because nostalgia is like, a lot of people are going back to stuff that their older brother or their mum was listening to or whatever it was, yeah. Before that album, I didn't hear of it exist in that same way. I'm not saying that album 100% contributed to that, but it was like Bryson came and did something so different, bro. It was mad. And I actually also think that might have been almost to Angel's detriment a little bit, yeah, because I know Angel sort of like, he's an old school R&B guy. Yeah, that is him through and through, yeah. And that would have been a body of work that would have been great for him to do pre-Bryson doing it, yeah. And I think that if he was gonna, instead of like doing some of the old school R&B stuff that he has been doing, which is sick still, which I still like, I think maybe he may actually benefit if he did like an old school, like you see like a lot of the old school tunes that we had. Imagine he flipped Chocolate Boy, like, you know that garage tune, yeah? Imagine he flipped that. Imagine it into an R&B tune. Imagine he flipped Flowers into an R&B tune, or like, you know, some of the tunes that we had here that were like big old school tunes. Maybe even an old flipping 7 Days from Craig David or something like that.
That's a sick idea.
It would be, oh my God.
Omar, something that would be sick.
Omar like that. There's nothing like this. Imagine he just sampled it and did a madness over that.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
Yeah, anyway.
What are you saying?
So I've got to touch on what Chuckie just said. I'm in full agreement with Usher Confessions changing the game, because I think Confessions is an album that in 20 years' time we'll still be listening to, and you'll still listen to every track. Trap Soul again changed how R&B sounds now, I think. But the reason why I want to pick two old school albums is because I think we're still listening to those albums now. New school, like if I use Summer Walker as an example, in 20 years' time, no one's going to be listening to that album, the full album. It's not going to do it. Diary of a Madman, 1000%. And I'm going to say Mary J. Blige's first album, because she then solidified herself as the standalone top female R&B artist for a generation.
Okay.
First album or second album? No, Godfather.
First.
Really?
Yeah.
I have that argument all the time about My Life versus 411.
Like, I think My Life is my favorite album of hers. But I think in terms of what she did with What's the 411, the queen of hip hop soul, like, she's standalone. And I think it then, everyone had to raise their game. Same as Diary of a Madman, it meant everyone was like, raw, like, them man have done that, she's done that. We now have to make sure that R&B is of the same level or just below, because that sound has taken us to a next level. So yeah, My Life, definitely my favorite album. But
that's why Dre don't want it with Diddy, you know. Dre don't want it with Diddy. I don't think if that ever happens, nah.
Old school Diddy would murder.
Trust me.
Enough producers. Enough of them.
Yeah, that's mad. All right, cool. Facts. What are you saying? You.
Bro. Diary of a Madman, bro. Jodeci. That's my group, bro. But yeah, Diary of a Madman, 100%, and probably Confessions as well.
Yeah.
So
that's
kind of the same lines as Syfer. But yeah, Diary of a Madman, bro. That album, bro. I listened to that about 3 days ago. Like, it's not a joke, bro. That album to me is so serious.
Can I ask a weird question?
On my own, Madman.
Can I ask a weird question?
Yeah, bro.
Do you think, I'm trying to be objective as possible here, right? Do you think we get Confessions without Justified?
Yeah.
Do you understand why I asked that question?
Yeah.
Because it seemed as though Justin Timberlake was going to start. You get what I'm saying? But it feels like Usher and Jermaine Dupri said, nah, we need to...
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We need to dim this a little bit. I don't know. I'm asking a question.
Because they were both under pressure. Because Justin was... Usher was under pressure from Justin, and Pharrell was killing it at that time. Neptune was like... they were like in like the 8 tunes in the top 10 or something like that at that time.
Yeah,
so then I asked this question. So I asked this question. If the answer to that is we don't get Confessions without Justified,
that means the game changer. The game changer is Justified.
I want to give him
that. But that's a question in itself. That's a question in itself. For me, mine are a bit different. Like, obviously, I feel like, you see, like the Jodeci, I think that's definitely a proper game changer. But you see, for me, all right, my introduction to music wasn't R&B. Like, I had a reggae household, so reggae, that like every other music had to be turned off. Unless my dad weren't in. If my dad weren't in, my mum would listen to her rare grooves and whatnot. But you see, once my dad's in, if it's not John Holt, Gregory, Dennis, it's not happening in my yard. So, but when I first got into R&B, must have been about 99. And I remember going to Camden Palace and watching Destiny's Child, And you see writings on the wall, for me, bro, I feel like that changed the game for women in R&B. Because I feel like other than Mary, and TLC and these little, but other than that, I felt like that just gave them some mad power. Do you get what I'm saying? I think and every song is a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bangers on there, bro.
Yeah.
Also on my wall.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. You see, when I was in the concert, like I was on some Camden Palace. I remember, I was about 8, bro. I was at the front. I was at the front, bro. I was holding the need her. I was there, bro. Yeah? But and then secondly, yeah, for me, this might not be a game changer, yeah. But for me, in terms of favorite, yeah, Jaheim.
Oh.
Yeah, but like still ghetto. See, the first one was sick, but still ghetto was mad because I felt like that was. You see, when Chuckie was talking about the sweet boy, yeah, I think he did the rude boy R&B singing done, and I think that changed the lane a little bit. I don't know what happened to him because he's obviously not like, but that still ghetto for me. Those two are mine. Like, that's my two.
You know, Ghetto Love, was probably like one of the most heavily bootlegged albums in life.
Man, it was mad when it come out.
He did bust through that, but he couldn't have made much peas from that album.
No, I don't think he made peas.
See people like Jaheim, like, again, when we talk about R&B, like, these man, did they really get the kudos that they deserve? Like you said, that album, like, I listened to Jaheim Tight Jeans just the other day on some random CD, and I'm like, yo, this
hey man, then.
Fresh.
Rhythm, you know.
Hey, sick.
Gangster. Like, smooth, but
sick.
these man.
Sick.
Like,
I actually went to a concert, it was, who was it? It was 112, Genuine, and Jaheim, and it was on Valentine's Day. Shout out to Hanif, he was the one who put that on, And like it was so good because everyone provided something different. It was like 112 came out, did their thing, group, whatever, everyone had a good time. Genuine came out, absolutely shelled it. You know, like he's just got rhythms in it, Jaheim came out at the end, when I tell you, it was like, I actually felt like I was sitting in like a James Bond movie with my girl. He was just literally, he was just walking up and down the stage, just singing tunes, and just giving out roses, bro. And I've never seen something so smooth. Like, it was so rude, boy, but so smooth, bro, at the same time, bro. It was so sick. So sick.
His thing was mad. His thing was mad.
He sings live very well.
Yeah, his thing was mad. So, yeah, that's mine. All right, cool. Fellas, it's been a sick episode. Like, 2 hours. I reckon we could go on for another 2, but you know what I mean? It's all good, but thanks for coming through.
Yes.
Yeah, man, big up.
Hold on, pause, obviously, because you guys are here. You have to do that. Respect for passing through. Definitely respect all of you in your craft. Like, as DJ, I know you all do your little different things. Obviously, Chuckie is really known for his podcast. But as a DJ, it's not that I don't care about the podcast, but you see, as a DJ, levels. You get what I'm saying? So I had to get him in on levels. Ace, from as a youth, I used to think, that's the goal, you know. That's the goal. So now respect. Syfer, you don't know already, you know. Syfer, you know. And all the gal in my die for. You get me? And God, come on. It's unwritten. You get me? That's why he's got that name. He was given that by Teddy Riley. They give him that. You know what I mean? So enough respect for passing through, guys. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully we'll get you back as guests on another show talking about another topic. But enough respect, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, big up.
Yeah. Before you go, obviously, if you want to give your socials out and everything, get the people them to, if you got any mixes going on or any, obviously you ain't got no clubs going on, but if you got any, or anything, or your socials, your Instas and that, if you don't mind getting them out quickly.
At DJ Ace on Instagram and Twitter, thank you.
Yeah, Chuckie online, everything.
DJ Syfer on everything, SoundCloud, Insta, Twitter.
And Syfer is Syfer, yeah?
That is very important. Syfer. DJ
Yeah. Mine is DJ Godfather 76 on Insta.
Say no more, man.
Cool.
Fellas,
Yeah, man.
pleasure,
Yeah.
man.
What's up, man?
Big up.
Yes, man.
Respect, man.